So in this video, we're going to specifically look at solving equations with variable on both sides. So the first thing that we need to remember with solving equations is that we have to understand our opposites, all right? Because it's going to be all about canceling and getting the variable by itself. So we need to remember that plus and minus are opposites, multiplication and division are opposites, square and square root are opposites, and cubed root are opposites. Okay, again, these opposites are important because our goal is to get the variable by itself. So we're going to be canceling numbers to get them to the other side in order to get that variable by itself. All right, so we're going to take a look at this first example. Notice that I have a variable on both sides. Okay, now typically what I like to do is I like to move my variables first. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to move the variable. And I like to move the smaller variable. So in this case, I have 3x versus x. X is smaller, so I'm going to move plus x. Opposite of plus x is minus x. And what I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other side. Notice I line them up exactly, and I'm going to then put my equal sign bar going all the way across. I now created 4 separate equations. 3x minus an x makes 2 x's. Minus 14 equals 2. So x is now declared this left side. We now are in a two-step equation, and we need to get rid of this minus 14. The opposite of minus 14 is plus 14. What I do to one side, I got to do to the other. Please make sure you're putting your operations down so you know what you're doing. 2x with nothing stays 2x. Negative 14 and positive 14 cancel, and then 2 plus 14 makes 16. Last but not least, I need to get the 2 detached from the x. The opposite of that, this is multiplication, is we're going to divide. And when I do to one side, I do to the other. Now notice I did not put the x there, it's just the 2, so I can cancel them. So x equals 16 divided by 2, which is, in fact, 8. All right, now in some cases, we're dealing with equations that have the distributive property attached to them. So in this case, we have 5 minus 7k equals negative 4 times the quantity of k plus 1, closed quantity, minus 3. So before we can start solving anything, we need to handle any parentheses and any combining like terms. So we handle the sides separately. So I first look on the left of the equal sign. I have 5 minus 7k. There is nothing that I can do to that, so we're going to just rewrite him as 5 minus 7k. I bring my equal sign down. Now I look to the other side of my equal sign. Notice I have parentheses, so I have to do the distributive property. Negative 4 times k is negative 4k. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and then I say minus 3. Again, still looking on this side, I don't have one constant and one variable. I have a variable and 2 constants, so we need to combine this together. So we have negative 4k, negative 4 minus 3 more would in fact make negative 7. Now that I have all of that combined, I'm back to the scenario that we had just above. Okay, I'm going to move the smaller variable first. Who's smaller, negative 7 or negative 4? Well, it's in fact negative 7. Now, if I chose the negative 4, it's not a big deal. I can still do that as long as I'm doing the opposite operations. Here then makes 5, cancels out, equal sign, negative 4 plus 7 makes 3k's, minus 7. I then need to get rid of this minus 7 that's on the right-hand side because, again, my goal is to get k by itself. So I'm going to do plus 7, and what I do to one side, I'm doing to the other. 5 plus 7 makes 12 equals 3k. Then again, I need to undo this multiplication, and I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. So k has to equal 4. So remember, to solve equations with variable on both sides, we need to get the variable by itself by doing the opposite operations.